Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations. I'm your host, Dom. And before I bring in a guest that I have been calling, emailing, texting for about 2 years now, I want to give y'all some church announcements. So don't forget, have the candles. Where are they? Right here. Candles, candles. Saint-angeles.com/candles. So if you want to read my thoughts a little bit, you can also just click home and there's the blog post on saint-angeles.com. I also have a brand ambassador gig with Sly Jules, St. Angeles at checkout. Ugh, if I could talk, at checkout to get 30% off your purchase. And they got cute stuff. Get your girlfriend some stuff. Get your homegirl some stuff. It's birthdays coming up. And also when you guys buy things and we have codes, that helps us as well. So just remember that. And if you cannot purchase anything, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the podcast. It helps us reach more people, more engagement, and it's free. And it takes 1 second. So without further ado, I want to bring in this week's guest. And we're gonna kick the shit because I really feel like one, I probably haven't seen this person in like 12 years in like real, like physical in the flesh. But we talk so often, it doesn't even feel like that now that I really think about it. And he is a writer, he's a producer, he be rapping, he be DJing, and he's coming to a radio station near you. I don't know. Welcome to the show. Vandalism! Brr,
Yo,
brr,
yo,
brr,
yo. What's
brr.
going on?
What's
What's
up?
going
What's
on? I
up?
appreciate you having me on. But yeah, I had to sit back and think about it. When you said that, it's definitely been that long.
It's been that long. I
Yeah, 'cause
left.
we were on the Grove somewhere, coming from an event or something like that. And yeah, it's probably been that long. It's probably been that long.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's so funny because there's certain people that it feels like I've connected with them or like, oh, I see you often. And then I
Right.
realize I'm like, actually, no,
No.
no,
It's
not at
been a little
all.
minute. It's been a little
Like
minute, but
it's
listen.
it's been a minute because I don't even think you're in the loo anymore, are you? If
Nah,
that's
nah,
okay
nah,
to say,
nah.
if that's okay to say, I will cut it out.
Nah, you good? You good? You fine? Like you say, I ain't tripping. No, 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 no. I'm actually in Atlanta now. So, yeah.
I've
So,
never been to Atlanta.
ma'am, what?
Why does everybody make that face when I say that?
Because first off, you're a black woman. 1 through 10. Like, you had to visually say this shit. First off, you're a black woman and you haven't been to the black mecca of the United States of America? Are we serious?
No, I haven't. It's yeah, no, I have not been to Atlanta. Yeah, no. I think the one time
Hmm.
that we were supposed to go, I was actually on a church trip
Ah,
and it got routed somewhere else. Like we had to end up going to perform somewhere else, so we ended up not going to Atlanta.
listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a grown woman, as a woman that has a lot going on, first off, not just come check Atlanta out. Just to be
Okay.
amongst that element amongst so many just doing wonderful black people. It's one of the few cities in the United States where you can kind of just catch that. And you also, the best way that I can explain it, you also don't feel yourself wearing your blackness.
Okay.
You dig
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you get into spaces like that and you just don't feel yourself, like you know where we come from,
Yeah.
you're aware that you're black everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And then you get to a city where you don't feel that anymore. Like it's like 80 pounds of weight off of your shoulders. And you're like, yo, I could just be in this cafe just drinking this coffee and I don't have to really, what I'm saying, look over my shoulder on some Karen type shit and stuff like that. And it's not to say that the racism itself does not exist. It does not to
Right.
say that at
Okay.
all. However, again, you know where the hell we come from. And the racism is just in your face. And then it come to a spot where it's like, no, we all black and we all got jobs. And he's like, whoa, okay, well, shit. I guess I will put my feet up in this motherfucker and not have to worry about, somebody coming up in here and calling me the N word. So it's
Yo,
it's different.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
I yeah, I Atlanta is definitely on my list to
Yes.
visit.
Yes.
I have family there. One of my best friends lives there.
Oh, you're wilding. You're wilding. You got fam and one of your that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. I just You know, I don't know. It's certain things like that. It is not that Atlanta isn't appealing to me.
Okay.
It's
Talk to me.
like, but it's like
What you trying to say? No, just I feel you trying to not put your foot in your mouth, but please figure it out.
I
Figure
just
it out.
I can't because I have not been there. I will. You know what? I will make a trip there
You
within the
have
next
to
year, and that's my word. I'm giving you my word.
listen.
And please take me to Magic City. Is that still open?
Yeah, they have, and the thing about it is, right? Yeah, they have Magic City is definitely still open. They got King of Diamonds down here. The funny thing about it is that I don't even go to the strip clubs.
I'm just trying to eat the chicken.
I'm,
It's just,
but I'm with you. Listen, we'll go and get some chicken outside.
okay.
Listen, they treat the strip club down here like the regular club. It's a very wild thing to just look at. Like people are really in here dancing and kicking it amongst all this naked ass, and this is like, all right, like I'm not I'm
That's
not used to this
hilarious.
because our strip clubs on the east side is like for the horniest of the horny. Like you in there, you're in there to be debaucherous. Like there's nothing no other reason for you to be up in that place. So yeah, it's kind of weird to see. To like people are literally like, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go to this strip club to kick it. It's like, oh, okay, I guess.
No, for real. Like I would go to the Pink Slip
Yeah.
and because the chicken, but because you know that chicken.
Listen, I'm about to say something to you. I do not eat strip club food at all. Never had the chicken from East Side from East Side. Any of the strip clubs. Never had it. Never. Listen, look at me the way you want to look at me all you want. First off, the pink slip looked like a fucking prison on the inside. So let's start
That's like
there.
you go and eat and then you leave and then you go to
Yo,
bottoms up.
that was like that motherfucker had cement walls and mirrors, and that was it. That was the most depressing strip club.
The lights was bright, like the light. I
Just
was like,
right. It was very uncomfortable. It's like, is this legal? That's what I looked at when I walked in. Like, is this a legal operation and a legal business that I'm in right now? And then you got that. You have what? Bottoms up right next to it, and in the middle of all of this shit is a church.
yeah, it doesn't get no better than that.
Everybody going to hell. You
Go from
literally
sinning
coming
to being
out.
saved.
You you literally coming out the strip club at 6, 7 in the morning, and people are about to go into service. Listen, no, I would say this just because I've seen so many disgusting things happen in these strip clubs. I didn't feel comfortable eating chicken in that same space. Like, I don't know if you've washed your hands, sir, before you drop my chicken in that oil. I don't know. So I just mm, it wasn't for me. I think listen, when you hungry, you hungry, but it wasn't for me.
It's okay. I felt like the heat, the grease, it killed
You feel
whatever.
like it did the disinfectant?
Yeah,
Respect. I like the logic.
killed whatever that. And I mean, again, Pink Slip really wasn't busy like that. No shade to if you work there and you're listening and watching. But then you go to bottoms up. So I would go eat.
You gonna eat the chicken at the pay slip and then go hit the bottom up.
Yeah, and you want to know what I vividly remember outside the chicken?
Mm-hmm.
It was a girl that had a tattoo, and I don't know who it was supposed to be, but I know what it looked like, and it looked like the scream mask mixed with smoke from the PJs. I don't know
Where?
if you remember the
Where was
PJ.
I remember smoke from the PJs, but where was this tattoo located on her body?
It was like on her back.
Mm.
So
Like, mm.
this tattoo sounds familiar to you.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I wasn't a frequenter like that. Like, we ain't gonna make me be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
oh yeah,
believe it
you
was on
talking
her
about
back. I don't think it was on her thigh. I believe it was on her back. It was either on her back or on her arm. But I vividly just remember that terrible tattoo.
listen, Pink Slip just I have horrid memories of that place. Like, I have one story that's just is pretty bad. Like, it was my first experience in a strip club ever. It was at the Pink Slip. I went in. First off, where I fucked up at is that I didn't come with cash. My boy had took me. I didn't have cash on me. So
And
the
you
only
had to
thing you
get
do is go
cash
to
out
the
there too.
ATM.
Yep.
No, and that ATM surcharge was like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I was taking 100 out. It took me $150 just to get $100. So cool. Got the 100. All right. So they sit like again, told you, cement walls and mirrors. That's
Yeah.
all it is. And a look kind of like a little sage should probably goes like right up to your knee. And some of them got poles, some of them don't. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
The area where you get the food looks like a prison cafeteria. Am I lying? Like it just looks like despair in there. However, ass and titties, right? So it's like something to, you know what I'm saying, smile about.
That's
Anyhow,
the cities, right?
so it's like it's a balance out. So I I sit down, my boy, like, all right, sit down right here. So we sit down at one of these last, stages or whatever, and I'm just waiting. So this chick come out. And she cute, whatever. Like it wasn't all that, she dancing. And I mean, it's literally just me and my dude right there. She going crazy and shit like that. And so she pulls out one of those jumbo blow pops. I said, hey, what you about to do with that? Maybe she's hungry. Cool. Hey, I ain't tripping. It's all good. Unwraps it. I said, all right, cool. That's what's up. And she said, I'm not bushing. She was like, give me your hand. I said, what? She said, give me your hand. And took my hand, right? And like handed me the blow pop. I said, okay, cool. Toots over and just with her own hand like this with my fucking arm. And I'm just like, no, no. And she looks behind me, like behind her, says, she said, what you making that face for? And I was like,
What is this voice? Is that how she's?
that's how she sounded. And I was like, oh my God, get me the fuck out of here right now. Get me out of here right now. I don't ever need to go to see a stripper ever again in my life. Scarred me. And then like the next time I went to the Bottoms Up, and it was cool. And the East Side, like it's pretty much like lawless town with like the strippers. Like you can
Yeah.
do whatever the hell you want to them. It's very weird to see when you see it. Lady on there twerking, and this dude has like a stack of ones, and he's balling them up tight, like tight. Like you've probably done this before. It feels like them like a rock. He's balling these ones up, and he's as hard as he can. Bah! Like he's just repeatedly doing like this is his thing. He did
He's
this
slow.
he did this shit for like 2-3 songs straight. And I was like, yo, I'm never going to a strip club again in my life. Those 2 moments scarred me. So I've always said I enjoy strippers. Yes, naked women, fantastic. Strip clubs, count me out. That's why I came here to Atlanta. I ain't been a one. I'm cool. I don't need to.
Huh. Okay. All right. Strip clubs, LA ass. Because
Heard.
there's a law where if they serve alcohol, they can't get naked. And if they don't sell it, they can. So it's just like a titty bar. Like they still got to keep like their bottoms on or something, I believe. So it's
Well, are
just
there juice bars that have strippers there?
yeah.
That's impressive.
I've been to one. It was one in the valley that I went to, and I just was like, this is. And when people talk about going, I'm like, like they would do like Ace of Diamonds, like in West Hollywood or whatever, and they
Uh-huh.
serve alcohol. But it just was. I'm like, ain't no chicken, ain't like it's not giving what it's supposed to give.
But that's the thing, though, right? Like, it's hard to like kind of expect that out of LA. And I hate to say this, like, sorry to your viewers. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are on the West Coast, love y'all to death, love LA to death. The food there sucks. So,
I think that's a known thing, though. I
but
think
no, if you say that to LA people, they act like you just spit in their face. And it's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you're used to it because you're just here. The food here is terrible. Across the board, it's horrible. And don't say Mexican to me. Don't say it. I don't want to hear it because that's only the first thing that come out their mouth. What? You ain't never had our Mexican? Bro, I don't even want y'all claiming that. Even though LA was once Mexico or something like that, I don't feel like that's y'all's. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let the Mexican homies keep that. That's theirs. Let them have their thing.
yeah, no, LA is all about ambiance,
Yes.
Instagrammable moments, absolutely. Because I cook. I've had soul food from restaurants out here, where I'm like, ugh. And when you do find restaurants, like my favorite restaurant is, it's a Japanese barbecue spot called Gyukaku. I think they might have one in Atlanta.
I know. I've heard of that spot though. I know what you're talking about. I've heard of
And
that.
so it's similar to the Korean barbecue. You cook it on like on the little grill and stuff. But
Hmm.
the way they marinate their meat is just hella fire, and they got these chicken garlic noodles that's just fire,
That's
right?
the one too.
And
Okay.
then there is a fried chicken spot, but it's, I think they owned by Asians. They call it Louisiana Fried Chicken. That's good.
I've heard. Listen, I've heard the stories about Louisiana. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, how many locations of Louisiana is there?
Um,
'Cause I know the only one that's in the hood that they say do not go to, so I never went.
where when you was in the hood, what was the? Do you know if it was like the hood can mean anything out here? They
I
got palm trees.
I know. And listen, the hoods are absolutely gorgeous in Los Angeles, and I'm
Yeah,
not saying that like, oh yeah, them niggas is weak. No, 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 no.
no, they pretty.
It's real. It's just what we used to
Those
see.
palm trees be fooling people. Them niggas
Right,
get
it
down.
be fooling people, and they be like, "Oh, it's gorgeous out here. This y'all good." Then your ass get shot, and it's like, "Nigga, quit playing." Like, then
Yeah.
you,
Like we know.
you amongst the ones. Like, don't let the freshly manicured laws fool you. Like, you amongst the
Yeah,
ones out here. So with us in our hood, like, nah, that shit is dilapidated. Like, you're
yeah,
not where you're supposed to be at. You know you ain't got no business over here. It's no mistaking it. I would
yep.
tell you this. The most confusing shit though, Atlanta, listen, it's like one street might be the hood and the next street might be like a mansion. It's confusing as shit. Like, I've never
Yeah.
been in a spot that has so many beautiful multi-million dollar homes, possibly a block away from absolute squalor. Like, I've never.
I mean, that's the west side of St. Louis, though.
I, yes,
It's the west side.
yes. Like, you know what? You're right. But
It's
it's
the
just
west
still,
side.
it's like we still have certain spots where it's like, yeah, bro, yeah, you ain't got no business to be over there. Like, don't do that. Like,
Yeah, because I mean, think about Cavany.
yeah, I
Well,
see.
Cavany has a part of Cavany is like gated but not gated,
Yup. Yup.
all up in there through Etzel Place.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that. But I was about to say, like, kind of going off of your conversation about the LA food. There is one place in Los Angeles that is, whew, it is everything to me, and I cannot wait to get back out there to go again. A spot called Little Fatty. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before.
What is it called?
Little Fatty.
Little Fatty.
Little Fatty. Yes, it's a Chinese spot and it's connected to this dope ass bar. I took myself out there one day. I forgot I was watching some on YouTube. They were showing all the food there, and I was like, I'm going. And I went. I had one of the best meals in my entire life, like that I've ever experienced, just ever. Little Fatty. Check them out.
I'm
Trust me.
looking. Wow, I've never heard anybody say this, and it's, yeah, and next to Accomplice Bar.
Listen, accomplished boy, they make some dope ass drinks.
Where the hell is Grandview Boulevard? I've never even heard of that.
I'm telling you right now, if you wanted like a little dope ass little day night, something little sexy real quick, and the food and drinks are gonna be fire, Little Fatty's going to set you off. I promise. And I'm telling you, because I hate LA food, but they got it right. They are incredible. I'm putting everything.
Okay, Mar Vista area. Okay,
Listen, check
okay,
it out.
okay.
Just trust me on
So
that.
you were near like Culver City area when you went to this like you must have stayed over here.
Nah, I
That's
was
the only
over
thing I can think
Charlotte.
of how you would get over there.
Listen, no, no, no. Actually, I'm lying. I'm lying. The last time that I was there, I definitely was. I was staying in a hotel that was in Studio City. So yeah, I that's where I was at. I was in a hotel around that area, not far from
Okay.
like the Universal and all of this. That is, I was big toy
It would
shorty
take
up
me
in Atlanta,
44 minutes to get there.
but it is worth it. I promise. I'm not gonna tell you
Yeah, this is
nothing.
headed toward like Culver City, Marina Del Rey area. Yeah.
Listen,
You were
just
far from where you were staying at in your hotel.
and
That's
listen. I I forgot where you just YouTube them.
Okay.
Look at their food. You'll make that trip. I promise.
All right. All right. All
I'm not
right.
gonna tell you nothing wild. Cause I'm saying, listen, I could talk about how bad LA food is all day. In and out, like what are we doing? Come on. Why
Oh, I hate that. I hate In and Out. I don't understand the hype. To me, the part of having a great burger is having great French fries, and they don't have great French fries.
y'all got two
Burgers
things to do?
mediocre, mediocre as fuck. I don't like Thousand Island dressing, and I don't want it on my burger. It's a burgers joint right down the street from me called Patra's.
Mm.
Fire charbroiled burgers, fire French fries, and the ranch.
See, that's the thing. Is like
The ranch.
I don't like going to places that I can go to at home when I
Yeah.
go. You know what I'm saying? When I go out of town. So, you hear people in and out, in and out, in and out all day. And I went and I'm just gonna get the burger just as is and the fries because I just want to taste them in their, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying, in their
In,
element.
in its natural state.
Mid. And the first thing all my homies is when I'm telling them, like, bro, why did y'all hype this shit up? This is trash. Bro, did you get it animal style? Dog, if I gotta do all this stuff to make this delicious, it's not delicious. Just serve it to me like that. Let that be your thing. Serve it to me like that. Then maybe I'll rock with you. But you just
And,
give me this mid ass burger, like, bro, y'all got to get out my face right now. This is trash.
and it's the fact, like, I know that it's just like, yo, like, I could make a better burger at home.
That's the thing. I want to do something. You just said it. I want to be able to experience something that I know that I can't immediately do right now. I don't
Right.
think nothing I know that I can make a better version of if I can
Yep.
control that. If I can control that. So nah, but I mean, with that said, I love LA.
No, it's real. Like, you have places that you like literally hold near and dear to your heart
Yeah.
because it's like it's certain things like there are certain things that I know I can't do. Like, I know I'm not making a butter cake, so I'm taking my ass to Mastro's or Ocean Prime to get it.
Look, talk that shit. I'm
So
going to
it's
Ocean Prime to get this cake.
like I know,
Period.
and Ocean Prime has like amazing like French onion soup. I think LA does drinks very well and experiences.
Oh, no question. You're
And but
watching.
other than that, it's like I could have made this at home, or
Listen,
I can make it better. Or I'm the person that's like, hey, oh, I like chicken marsala. Let me
hmm
figure out how I can make this on my own.
hmm
I'm that person, and I will do it, and I will kill that shit.
and that's how it should be. I don't understand grown ass men or women that be like, I can't cook. Like, gee,
That means
it's
you can't read or comprehend.
right. Like the actual concept of cooking is just too much free information out here for you to be trash or not know how to do that simple thing.
Yes,
YouTube University will make you the illest chef in the world if you're serious about watching 2 or 3 10-minute videos.
yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
and that's really all it takes. Just doing that and then being like, I'm about to go do this shit. But people just don't want to do that. Now I will say all of that to say I can't bake worth the damn. Like, bacon is just, I've tried it. I don't, my timing is off, is ass. I come up with these hard ass cakes. It's just not for me. I laid
Are
it
you
down.
forgetting that you have cakes in the oven?
Very possible. Very possible.
There's a timer on your phone, and then there's a timer on the oven, sir.
Listen, I hear you. It just ain't really worked out for me. I feel like at another point in time in my life, I'll give it another try. But as of right now, I just spend the money on whoever knows how to bake. Cooking some shit, I can cook damn near anything. Like I'm good. But baking, God just didn't bless me with the foresight of timing and all of that shit on those. It's just
Okay, all right. Well, with that being said, we're gonna bake our way on into one of our topics for the evening.
yeah.
Um, the other day,
Mhm.
we were online, and you were posting about how you just needed to get out
Yeah.
and needing that human interaction. We're not coming off. We're still in the midst of a global pandemic.
Still.
Uh, monkeypox, polio,
You did
and
everything.
whatever the hell else is out there. It was some other, like, I don't even know at this point. Every day is something new.
Yeah.
And you were, pretty honest and transparent about kind of struggling a little bit with your mental state.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I would like to kind of, I don't think I've ever really talked about that here. And so I
Okay.
felt like this would be a great thing for us to talk about, especially when
Absolutely.
it comes to Black people, Black
Mm-hmm.
people,
Mm-hmm.
and our
Mm-hmm.
mental health state and how we disregard things. We try to just, sweep it under the rug. And I would like to talk about how you were feeling and how are you feeling today, and things that you do to help pull you out of those spaces.
Word. Well, yeah, as far as today, like I'm actually in a phenomenal mood, so I appreciate you asking that, number one. But yeah, just me as far as my mental state, me as far as, mental health is something that I take, very serious. It's a situation where, like I said, I'm an only child, so I'm an internalizer at
Okay.
all times.
Yeah.
I look inside first for the answer solution before I go outward
Yeah.
towards anything. Which in one instance, that's great. In the other instance, that kind of hurts me having certain relationships with people because I
Okay.
don't necessarily look to people to help,
Mm,
or any of those things. And I'll definitely be like dead ass suffering in silence, just hoping that at some point somebody, kind of looks and finds out like that. Oh, something's going wrong. Like, let's see what's going on with Van. And instead of me just being able to openly vocalize, hey, I need help. Like, shit ain't right now. Um, and it's something I've been working on. Still kind of like growing with that, but working on it in one of the worst times to possibly be working on that. The reason why I say that is because one of the worst byproducts I think of this entire pandemic has been the insane level of selfishness amongst people.
mm,
Um, because all you see on these promotional, videos and these little clips from these interviews and podcasts and shit is all they're telling people is, focus on you and get yourself together and
mhm.
take time off of you, cut these people off and get yourself together and grind. And they're not telling them what happens on the other side when you're doing that. Yes, you
Mhm.
might have progressed and pushed on and did wonderful things by honing in that energy for yourself, and fantastic. But what does that do for your friendships? What does that do for your family? What does that do for, your actual relationship that you're in?
Yeah.
They suffer, you know? And people at this point right now, like I said, beyond the pandemic, the fucking economy in general is just trash.
Yeah.
This is the time where we do need each other,
Mhm.
but everybody's focused on themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't get help or even ask for help because even if they hear you and like, yeah, no, we got to get that together. We got to get you on point. And niggas will like forget. And they're not necessarily forgetting, but they're doing what they've been told to do for the past 2 years is
Yeah.
focus on yourself. And so nobody's looking to be the balance. Nobody's realizing like, yo, we can all pull these things or our resources together in order to make things greater for the entire, what I'm saying, group. Or damn, let me just check on my homie or my homegirl and see how it is that they've been doing. Like these things don't exist, and they're cool with allowing other people to carry the weight of their relationships and keep those things tethered together instead of them, which allows them to be more selfish down the line, not
Yeah.
really realizing that they're fucking things up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a weird survival tactic.
yeah,
And I think that I'm in the state of, yeah, I'm, like, where we from, we just really have a hustle slash survival, mentality, which a lot of Black people do.
right.
We're not taught really how to have interpersonal relationships with people.
Right.
Out the gate. But I think where I'm at is that I'm tired of surviving. I just want to live.
Listen, that
And
listen. You, I didn't want to cut you off, but you said that's
yeah,
right there.
it's just really the reality of it. And yeah, it's like you're trying to figure out different ways to like get it or whatever, but our bodies deserve rest and peace. And I was explaining that like to my guy the other. I was like, I don't know how you don't sleep. I slept when I don't sleep. I am very lethargic. I am tripping. I'm
Right.
tripping. I haven't slept. Apparently, I haven't been sleeping well for some years now, and I didn't know that until
Mhm.
recently. I got an inhaler that's a steroid, and I was breathing better at night.
It's like, oh,
I was like, "Oh shit, I'm
is
all
this
cool.
the
What is
thing?
this?
Is
What
this
is this
rest?
refreshment?" Like, oh, I thought everybody was just waking up groggy.
No, this
Sinus.
is rest. What?
And so now, even just experiencing that, and if I'm not waking up feeling like that, I'm like, okay, I didn't sleep well. My day is like a little off.
Right.
I had a tension headache for like a day now, and I'm like, okay, what is it?
Right.
Like, what's bothering me that I don't know what's bothering me? And I've been drinking
Hmm.
water, I
Right.
took some vitamins, I took some medicine. Why is it still here? I was like, okay, so what is it?
Hmm.
I don't know what it is.
And this the thing, right? So there's ways to find out what that is, but the amount of money it takes in order for you to get to the bottom of that, or like certain things that aren't completely covered by your insurance, is so ridiculous
Yeah,
that it's you and so many people that are just dealing with things that are just eternal. Your body is telling you something is flat out wrong.
yeah, yeah,
And what it would take would be possibly somebody adjusting your, you know what I'm saying, your nutrition, you know what I'm saying, or something of
yeah,
that nature. But that takes time, that takes
yeah,
money as well. Who just has access to something like that, that truth be told would improve your life immensely. So you
yeah,
just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So you just deal with it. Like we were talking about the other day, like when I said like I kind of like had it out, like yo, like those past couple of days, like I was literally like jittery, like I felt myself like getting sick, like I was having a flu or something of that nature, and I had not been outside like or been like anywhere like in like a week or two.
hmm,
So it wasn't like oh yeah, oh it's COVID or something like that. Like I ain't been around nobody. Um, and like I said, when I had it out, I felt like a whole new person. Like I fucking cried, just screamed, yo. And when I got that shit out, I was like, oh damn, I needed to do that.
yeah,
I was like, shit, I want to go build a house right now. I felt just recharged and
yeah,
renewed. Like, and maybe it was just the stress of everything that's just been happening in life around me,
yeah,
to people that's close to me, to myself, and I was just carrying the weight of all of that, and I needed to get it out. And I'm not one of
yeah,
those people. Like I'm not against crying. I think everybody should do it. For me, it's a healing thing when I do it.
yeah.
It's just difficult as hell for me to do. Like
It
it's like the last thing that happens, and I'll literally say like I need to cry. And I can't. It just doesn't.
I just man, cause we gangster, we too gangster. I tell people, I was like, hey, don't tell nobody I cried. And it'll be like it'll be me like the other day. I was talking to I was on live with Farron, and we were talking about like a recap. We do a recap of more to the story
Right.
Wednesday. And it was me, her, and our homegirl Nikki that was their guest, and we were just talking, and whatever it was, we were like, I was like saying like why certain like friendships are very important, and just trying to even articulate, and I could feel myself getting emotional, and I was like,
Right.
oh shit, y'all finna make me cry, and I said, hold on, I'm about to get my cycle. Anyway, you're just taking a deep breath, and but it's really it's tricky
Mhm.
sometimes to navigate your feelings and your emotions and what's happening.
Right.
And and it's something that I've been working on, and really I feel like I've always had my voice, but with feelings it's just like ow,
Right.
a little strange for me because
Right.
it's like, what if the person on the receiving end doesn't receive it, or what if they receive it the incorrect way? So now I'm in my head about it, and I was like, I'm
Right.
gonna just be quiet, you know. And so I I just think that I, I don't know, like I was telling you the other day, like I knew I needed to cry.
Mm-hmm.
I was having like a bad day and left work early because the girl at work was finna get the West Side real quick. And my boss had already had to run over to my office one day about my email response. So I was
No.
like, okay. So I had been having this ongoing issue, and I just was like, all right, I really just didn't want to work that day. And I was like,
Right.
perfect. Yes. Ending my work day, not coming to work tomorrow. And that was it. So perfect. But I was trying to like, I think I'm just in that space of like, I want to like my talents to be paying me. Like I'm
Facts.
seeing it happen for my friends, and it's not like a jealous, envious thing. I'm like, okay,
Right.
I see it happening for them. I know this can happen for me. I just got to go a little harder. I got
Right.
to push myself a little harder. But I'm
Right.
tired of clocking in for these white folks. They're
Right.
getting on my nerves, and they just don't get it. And that's really
Right.
what I was feeling. So I was like, I want to quit my job. And then I
Right.
looked at my savings. I was like, yeah, you can't really do that yet. But then I'm like, I have this partner where it's like, okay, if I want to do something, I should be able because you're making enough.
Right.
But then I was like, that's not fair.
Continue. Go ahead.
It's not fair.
Go
But
ahead.
and then so I tried to like pitch it,
Uh,
but knowing but couldn't really. And so he was like, "What's going on?"
right.
Man, I could not explain or articulate what I was feeling,
Right.
and I felt so helpless in that moment.
Right.
And I just was like, okay, this is a person that I know, that I love, that I trust, but
Right.
why am I having a hard time like communicating? And we're big on that. Like, what is it that I feel? And then I just cried. He was like, well, why are you crying? I was like, I don't know. And then I
Right.
just was crying. And then he was like, okay, so just quit your job. Like I got it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go to work Monday after I cry.
Yo, this is look. This is what I want to say to that. Okay. Um, because I'm a big component of the why. Uh, Certain actions that we look at from within ourselves, from within like people we know, even just randoms we don't. Like they'll just be fucked up actions, right? Like, oh man, this person just yelled at me randomly, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, that is fucked up. But it's
Yeah.
like, why is it fucked up though?
Yeah.
Like, where did you learn that that type of activity is how it is that you
Hmm.
conduct yourself with other people?
Hmm.
And once you figure out the why, you can then come to the solution. But just telling someone to stop something, and this is like the dad me coming into play, but just telling someone to stop something uh doesn't necessarily fix that. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
action itself. So you go into a space where you're talking about right now, I'm gangster, I don't cry, I don't know how to like really express my emotions. We then now have to have a conversation about upbringing. We have to have a conversation about experiences amongst friends, school, as children. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
where at what point were you open and were expressing yourself and it got shut down to where you felt like that this is how you now have to conduct yourself in the world because nobody cares about your emotions. So don't express them. And then after a while, it just becomes you. You dig what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you become 30 plus and you're like, actually, that's not okay. But I gotta now break 30 years of a habit,
Yeah.
but I can't remember when this started for me.
Yeah.
Then, God forbid, something happens, it triggers you and it reminds you, God damn, it happened then.
Yeah.
It gets
You know, I'm not, you know what, honestly, like, all the jokes aside, I feel like as I am somewhat of I'm not emotional, but like, cause that looks, people, it gets a bad rap, but I feel like I can't express, but it was just something weird in that moment.
It just wouldn't let you do it.
It was like weird because it's funny because not too much longer after that, or it was something, and I was saying it was something that I felt like I was like missing, and I was trying to just have like an honest conversation.
Right.
And he kind of came at it from an emotional, standpoint, and I was like, hey, like, no, that's not what I'm saying to you.
Right.
And I'm like, but also I was like, I want you to be comfortable to say, hey, I've had a rough day, I can't process that right now,
Right.
instead of like coming back with
Like
that.
you left
And
that
then I
high.
said, and so even so the next day when we hung out and talked, I was like, he's like, oh, sometimes you stress. I said, no, 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 let's stay here.
All
I
right.
said, what I said to you, I said, I'm going to say it to you again today. Now remove the emotion and let's add logic to it.
Right.
Was it that bad? Was it bad at all? And he was like, oh. I was like, yeah. I was like, it's never as somebody that is your partner, it's never my intention to make you feel small, less than anything like that, or talk at you, be combative or anything. I'm supposed to be your
Right.
partner,
Right.
and we're supposed to have each other's back. So, but if I
Mm.
see you slacking somewhere, I'm gonna call you out on it.
Yeah.
And if you see that happening for me, like, you should call me out on that.
Vice versa. Absolutely. Absolutely. What should That's how it's supposed to be. And it's like you're using the biggest word here is partner, right?
Hmm.
And so I feel like a lot of times people in relationships, and it's kind of like full circle going back to what I was initially just talking about, just kind of just this do for self nature of everything right now. Um, People are going into relationships on the defense.
Hmm.
What can I get out of this person
Yep.
without giving the least?
Yep.
And if I get a lease and this person on that bullshit, I ain't give them too much. You know what I'm saying? So we cool. Or you gotta prove to me that you could be open. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Yeah.
prove to me to
Yeah.
do that. And so a lot of times when it comes to real conversations that you have to have with your partner, they're going to be super defensive. They're going to be super combative. They might even immediately like be on some like type of like fight or flight type shit and just like run off, or like those type of that type of shit happens because that's what they're used to, and not realizing like, yo, if we're in a true partnership, I love you, you love me. I'm never going to allow you to be at your worst
Yeah.
when I know you can be better. Like when I know, like it's one thing if like shit's going on, but it's like, no, if you're just literally just slacking off, not handling business
Yeah.
just because you're not handling business, and I don't talk with you about that, I don't love you.
Yeah.
I don't.
And that's real.
We don't hold each other down. So getting back to what you just said about having the issues with your job and all of that, and then you were talking with your partner, and they were like, just quit your job. And you were like, no, I'm going in Monday. If it is a partnership, and my G literally said, and he saw the issue there, and he came with a solution that is going to allow you to focus on what you need to focus on, and you're calling him your partner, and that is your actual partner. Let them do it. Because the reality of it is that the shoes on the other foot, would you do it for them?
Yes, I would.
There's nothing else to talk about. Your answer is right there. They just let you know how much of a partner that they are.
Yeah.
So in game, because you're so used to being in survival, you're so used to
Yeah.
being in hustle, you so used to I gotta get up and just get this shit on. If you got somebody there that truly loves you like that, and they want to see you be great, and they have the resources to allow you to do that on your own in all places, Los Angeles, do it. We
Yeah.
know entirely too many people that's out there getting it. We know entirely too many people that's out there being successful that we can hit on the phone right now that got awards, that's just was on award shows, and we see this shit all day.
Yeah.
And so off rip, you like, hell yeah, I can get this shit. That's why I'm out here. I know I can. The connects are there. I just really got to be focused on this, and I can't do it because I'm doing this damn job that I already don't want to do.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
got your partner that's telling you, gee, I got you.
Yeah.
Quit that damn job. Handle business.
Yeah. No, it's about, honestly, to me, it's
Yeah.
about it's time management.
Word.
And it's like really like, especially like on those days where I work from home, where it's kind of like lighter. And I was working on some stuff earlier, but then I was like, fuck this fucking headache. I'm gonna take a nap. But that's really what it gets back down to. And I feel like at one point my time management skills was like crazy. And so
Mm-hmm.
now it's just like getting back. And since I have the goal, in mind, and been like writing down my goals and all that stuff and breaking them down into quarters, it's like, okay, how can I achieve this while still, doing XYZ? Because like I know me, and it's not like, okay, I would, yeah, come to him like, okay, rent bills, stuff like that.
Right.
Nigga, I like to shop. And I'm willing to make the sacrifices, but it's just like how I went and bought all them clothes at Target the other day, and for to create content that I didn't get paid for. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's
Right.
like it's the give and take. So I was just like, oh, I'll keep this job, but what I am doing
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like the quiet quitting, which is just like I'm doing the requirement. No, this is a real thing, because I was like, I'm only gonna do like, okay, what is asked of me? I'm not going above and beyond anymore. I'm just
Right.
gonna do my expectations. I'm gonna
Right.
keep my department rolling, and that's it. And
Right.
so I was like, oh, that's really a thing. And it's like, it's called quiet quitting. I was like, oh shit, that's me.
That
So
listen, that term is such bullshit, though. I, it is. It absolutely is. And it's like this weird ass propaganda that these business owners and HR people have created in order to shame people into into doing more for their job without getting, you know what I'm saying, the pay for the additionals. And that's where the bullshit comes in at.
I ain't
Because
doing that. Don't ask me. I
I
literally
mean
said,
that, but the thing is this, right? That company hired you for a particular job. Do you do the job?
yeah,
Anything extra is fringe for them. You don't benefit from that shit at all. And the thing is that in our age range, in our bracket, we've been lied to. We have been completely lied to. You have been lied to. That whole you work hard, they'll notice it, you'll climb up the ladder, you'll get more money, and that's how it is that you survive in America. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. That person, if you do not own that business, you are currently right now giving way more of yourself for less for another person to drink.
mm-hmm.
And that is the honest to God truth. That's not to say that we don't need people to work those particular jobs, because the reality of it is that if we don't have them, we don't have anything. So people who are just cool with, I'm gonna clock in here, I'm gonna do this work, I'm gonna clock out, and I'm cool with this till I die. I commend you all
Yep.
110%.
Yep.
But if that's not you, understand that they're gonna ride you until you die.
Yeah.
And they
I
don't give a shit about you dying.
it's funny. I don't know how old my boss is, but he already said that he's lived past his life expectancy for like the men in his family. So I don't know what that means. I was like, okay, whatever age bracket that is. But the way that I feel like they take advantage of him. Like
Yeah.
I think he is smart.
Yeah.
And that's not, oh, he's my boss. No, 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 no. I
Right.
genuinely, legitimately know that when he's not in office, shit falls apart. And I
Right.
always tell him, I say, hey, can you please let me know when you taking days off, or so I can take days off, so I don't have to deal with the bullshit,
Facts like that.
because I get the overflow of the bullshit, right? And
Right.
so I said, well, listen, in 2 years, because you're talking about quitting, and I'm on a yacht, and I'll be in Monaco, or Saint Tropez. I said, give me a call when you go to retire, right? Because they're
Mhm.
going to do this to you. I said, my assistant will put you through to me. I will take the call, and you will tell me that they offered you like a multi-million dollar deal to stay with the company, to stay longer.
Mhm.
Because we've already had the conversation that you're talking about wanting to, like, you really want to leave today,
Right.
but you don't want to leave them hanging. I'm just saying, just let me know, because I'm gonna be on my yacht. But how do you handle, Van, like when you have those moments, those episodes where you feel heavy, you want to cry, but you can't cry What are things that you do?
My biggest thing is this, right? Um Working out definitely
Yeah.
is a one, and not for vanity reasons, but I mean, I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is the best I've looked ever in life. But
Okay.
it's
I
honestly
love it. Take it.
but no, but just like honestly, just the release of it, you know what I'm saying? It does
Mhm.
help me deal. I will say that a lot of my frustrations and things come out because I didn't necessarily understand truly what was wrong with me. This is kind of one of the first times that I've like openly like spoken about this. But one day I was on Twitter, and you know how I go. People will put up like random posts of random videos, this, that, and the third. Somebody will post up this video about this woman finding out that she has adult ADHD.
Okay.
And so she's just going through her symptoms, boom, this, that, and the third. I think I had every last one of them. And I said, hold on. I said, do I have ADHD? I was like, so I need to figure this out because if this is the case, this is something that has hindered so much in my life. Just
Mm,
and I've lived almost 40 years with these things and these actions, not realizing that these have harmed me.
okay.
So I went to a psychiatrist, ran through like, we talked for like 2 hours or some shit, asking questions, this, that, and the third. And bro rifles off a list of just things that are wrong. And I'm just like, yo. like when I looked at it, I'm like, yo, I am fucked up. But the thing about it is that when you find that out, you can then get to the root of it and then you can
Yeah.
also get to the solution. You feel me?
Right. Right.
And so many people are just walking around right now, not knowing why they're late to shit all the time. Not knowing why it is that they get overly emotional when they look at particular things.
Hmm.
Don't know why they feel so down on these particular days. And they just chalk it up to life. And the reality of it is, like I said, going back to like them day jobs, they don't give a fuck about none of that. You're suffering. They want you to clock in, do this work, clock your goofy ass out, come back here tomorrow morning and do the exact same thing. And and that's all they want and expect of you. They don't care about how you feel mentally. They don't care about how you feel
Yeah.
internally, all of that. You have to be your own advocate. And you also have to not be so afraid of the answer. So
Yeah.
many people are terrified of, damn, I got this, or damn, this is happening. Damn, I might got to take a medicine in order to make me better about this. The only person you cheating out of this situation is
It's
yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't get better until you do something about it. It doesn't get better until you face it and realize that that's what's wrong. That's what's happening. So I'm a big advocate therapy, big advocate psychiatrist. None of this shit means they say like the words ableist, and I don't want to come off like that. You're not off or anything of that nature. I can tell you right now, damn near everybody has something going wrong with them.
Yeah.
I don't know what normal is, to be honest with you. And I'm sure some people that'll say they are normal, and then you can have a few conversations with them and realize, bro, no, you need to go see somebody. So, and for
I
real.
mean, but we glamorize we glamorize people being normal. To me,
What is
like
that?
it's not, but also it. I hate to say it, but it's like basic behavior. Like common. And I don't operate at that level. And that's
Right,
no shade
right,
to anybody that likes it there, but I don't like it there. That's not the frequency that I'm on. And so
right.
I realized that we have different things. Like, I was explaining that to my mom, like August is just such a heavy month,
Hmm.
in general, like for me, and like my family that are like in tune with their bodies or whatever, but there are certain things that have been traumatic events that have happened multiple times in that
In
month
this month.
to
Yeah.
me, back to back to back to back, and my body feels that. So
Hmm.
August, I know I'm like, ooh, shift. How can I stay, like reflect on memories? How can I continue to push forward? How can I not let this impact me? And it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Like our bodies are set up that way. It's muscle memory.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like the same thing like how I can come to St. Louis and pretty much just get around without a GPS. So
Right.
that's how your body is. So when there are certain things that happen, you're like, what is happening? And then you like look at the calendar or something, you're like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just taking a moment to reflect and taking things a day at a time. So
Facts. Facts. And that honestly, and that's the key. Like everything that we're saying right now is just kind of coming full circle. Because it's basically just kind of going back to just emotions,
yeah,
feeling them and being okay with feeling them. So like so many people, and I mean we could just put it on just in general, just black women in general. Um, there's so many emotions and feelings that y'all feel that y'all don't get to just openly express comfortably, you
yeah,
know, without feeling like that, you possibly could be taken advantage of, or
hmm,
you're weak, or any of those, you know what I'm saying, those types of things. And the reality of it is that we all have to have that space to feel,
yeah,
have to have it. It is the way you figure these things off, and you grow, you be bigger. Like emotion is a large key component of
yeah,
just living life in general. What you're feeling, feel it completely through and get past it. That's the biggest one. Get once you feel it, become what, get past it. You can only get past it by feeling it. What they say, the only way out is through. That's the only,
yeah,
running from shit, internalizing it, packing it in, being a builder, that does not benefit anybody. Because when you lash out, you're gonna hurt someone's emotions. You hurt yourself. That's not how you deal with it. And we need to have more open spaces for people to be able to just be emotional and get things
yeah,
so they can deal. Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, that's that. You're saying it. You're saying it.
Yeah, I think that just a lot of I think people have to learn how to unplug.
Yes.
And a lot of just what happened yesterday. And I was so like living out here, we know how it gets. It's just interesting, and I'm not gonna blame the location
Right.
on that. But I also know, that there are certain. I've never been a person to do that because they've been telling us like that puts our safety at risk.
Facts.
But also, it's the simple fact that somebody in that restaurant could have called somebody. To me,
Easy.
it sounded like they might have been getting followed for a minute,
Right.
and so to see that, and you heard people talking about it, but then somehow that video came up on my feed,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, who retweeted this? So I'm like trying to say, I'm like, okay, so let me block this person.
Right. Who put this on my timeline? Let's get them out
Well,
of here.
but we become so desensitized. But the seeing the Emmys last night and all the wins and the wins for our
Mm-hmm.
people, when I
Mm-hmm.
tell you it shifted
Mm-hmm.
everything for me, and I was just like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, like I'm so happy. Like I
Mm-hmm.
took my nap, but I'm so happy that I tuned in when I did.
Right.
And then I replayed Shirley Ralph's like acceptance
Right.
speech
Mm-hmm.
and really felt it and just cried.
That's good.
And
That-
so I was like, okay, I kind of got it. Wasn't like a boohoo cry. It was like tears coming
Still,
down my face, but still,
it was
but
a
but
release.
being just proud and just being black and just being able to, and that's what I mean. Like I'm tired of surviving. I just want to live. Like our people just deserve to live.
Listen, number one, rest in peace to PNB Rock. What happened yesterday is just deplorable, disgusting. Nothing that I condone in any form or fashion. You're saying right now everybody is in survival mode. So you have instances like that. I've heard of a bunch of, entertainers that come to LA certain times of wartime, things of that nature. And, it's just robbing season. And that's not to say that like it's just there in Los Angeles. Like it's bad as fuck here in Atlanta right now. Like on the same
Yeah,
streets, cats doing home invasions and all of that type of stuff. It's scary. But even them and doing those actions, everybody's in this weird ass survival mode. Everybody's in this
Mhm.
weird ass hustle, got to get it by any means type mode. And again, going back to the initial thing, like it's just they're thinking about themselves, not how this affects others.
Mhm.
Because just on the math end, first off, should not have happened. People that rob, steal, all of that type of shit, instead, unless it's coming from like you stealing from like a corporation or something like that, that's bum activity. That's nothing I can condone.
Yep.
That's nothing I will condone. Like you're the lowest of the low. Like that shit's whack. You stealing from people who work for whatever it is they got, you're whack. I don't give a fuck who you are. Nothing
Yeah.
about this shit is
Yeah.
gangster. With that said, bro, you killed him, stole his jewelry, personalized jewelry. How much money do you think you're going to get now that you have a murder for this? And whatever it is that they're going to give you, they about to lowball the hell out of you because it's hot. You are the dumbest robber in the world. That's not how it is that you do it. And you just killed this man for, I mean, I'm sure the change thousands upon thousands for maybe a couple $1,000 that you probably about to split between some people. Like you now you got to go do it again. Like just the fact that you're like, yo, I'm gonna do this with the possibility of me maybe walking away with a couple of $100. When you think about it like that, you know what I'm saying? That man's entire
It's really
life
sad.
existence, he was taken away from his kids. He was
Mhm.
taken away from his girl for a couple $100, bro. Like
Yep.
you telling me right now, it wasn't nothing else that you could have did that could have got you that exact same for a couple $100, bro. And you probably are going go to jail because you did it in a public place in broad daylight. Like, don't think for 2 seconds that nobody's camera caught you. Like, when I sit back and look at it like that, when people are that desperate, it makes you terrified of leaving the house. When you think about right now in St. Louis, they talking about, oh, they don't have nothing for the kids to do. You're talking about these young teenagers and kids and shit walking down the streets of downtown St. Louis with Dracos out in the open.
Yep.
They're not hiding them. They're out in the open, walking around amongst everybody else coming from the baseball game and shit. Like, if you have a Draco and you're just walking around, bro, I'm already knowing what you want.
Yep.
You're not playing on defense. So why would I come out to a baseball game knowing that chances are I'm walking, I got my kid with me and we going to the car, we might get popped.
Yep.
Everybody's on survival mode. Everybody, because a bunch of people just on that stupid shit out here. And like you said, you want to live. But right now, I got to go out of the house a certain way because I just don't know what dudes is on, and
Yep.
I'm trying to go to the store and come back. That's all I want to do. I'm not out here trying to rob nobody. I'm not out here trying to hurt nobody. I'm not trying to live in nobody's life, bro. I just wanted to go get some damn oat milk for my smoothies, and you telling me that, you know what I'm saying? And you telling me that I'm risking my life for some fucking oat milk, bro?
But
Like,
but that's when you go home, it's so different because I tell people I was like I be off grid. Like I used to, step out. And I think the last time
yeah,
like, I probably went out was like years ago. And I don't be in and out St. Louis like that anyway.
right.
But it's just I'm like it, and I'm no Beyonce, okay, in my mind. But it's like people get weird. People get really weird, and I just like, all right, well, it's different.
It's super different. And the thing about it is, right? Like you have cities like Chicago and LA where it's particular politics that you can kind of maneuver around. You
Hmm.
know, don't go to these certain areas. Don't wear these certain logos. In Chicago, don't wear your hat certain way. You know, certain places you just don't step to. You can maneuver around. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. St. Louis, however, wherever the fuck you at, it can go down right there
Yes.
randomly.
I mean, when I saw that they were shooting in the Galleria, I was like, okay.
The Galleria on
I'm like,
Brentwood, the cops are right there. What are y'all
and then
doing?
how they came in, they did years ago, and this happened. I worked at Saks. When
Mm,
they came up in Saks and did the snatch and grab, I was at the Beverly Hills location, so that was. I mean, they went through and how they that internal process and how they was blasting that.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, that was an inside job, but hey, what do I know?
Right.
But it was just like, like how, like just so it makes things so different. And where we
Right.
from, we just like, you hear loud noise, we ducking.
We dug it. I ain't playing no games.
No
Quarterback fire,
game.
boy, I'm behind something.
I'm like, no, no, we don't play that. And it's just like people like, you be paranoid. Why you looking for X? I said, because you just never fucking know.
In St. Louis, you never fucking know. You got to be on your square. And I've had to notice that just even, when I'm in other cities and shit like that, just like my demeanor. Like, I mean, you know me, I'm a super nice dude. However, if you just seen me walking down the street, you wouldn't think that. But I'm
Yeah.
purposely like just on focus, like I'm not looking like shit's playing like a game
Right.
because you just
Don't
don't
know.
know. In St.
Yeah.
Louis, it could at any time it could pop off, and you need to just be on your square. How can I exit? Or if it's these dudes that's right here, all right, who am I going at first? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
gotta you
No,
gotta
it's
plan all of
real.
this shit out, and you shouldn't feel like that. That's that again. We're kind of going back to the survival and living type of aspect, even though if it is a different form of it. It's what we're dealing with now. When you step out your house, are you prepared to protect yourself to make sure that you're going to make it home safe? That's
Mm-hmm.
the reality of it. Because you damn near can't let your kids go to school now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
How
it's
can you have
sad.
listened as your kids getting shot? Like, that's the terrifying reality of life at this moment because these politicians aren't doing shit to fix that. So, what are you doing to assure that you make it back into this house to your family every single day? Because
Yeah.
those niggas don't give a fuck about you. The cops don't give a fuck about you. Your jobs don't give a fuck about you.
No, but that's that sense of where I feel like we're missing that sense of community. And I always tell people that I say, a lot of us were kind of raised in that space. Our
Right,
parents were, raised in that space, depending on where they grew up,
right.
knowing the person, your neighbors, and then all the way down to the person down the street, being able to look out, you might have to work late, but then some person can, pop in and make sure your kids are good. And
Facts.
we lack that sense of community because there's such this divide and conquer aspect in our community. And it's like enough space for all of us.
Listen, you just said it, but the thing is that it's about the level of selfishness, and everyone just wants to get it for themselves.
Yeah.
They do not like that's a big thing for me. Just in life, like meeting people, like when I notice that you really don't care or don't have a deeper sense of how much space, either literal or you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
how much space you just take up or take away from others. I have a different like I don't respect you as much.
Yeah.
I don't respect you as much because like case in point, like some shit like you ride on the train and somebody's come in on the train just talking loud as fuck on their phone. Ah, yeah, that's what's up. One more shit. It's like, bro, there's 80 people on this train right now, dog.
Yeah.
Why are you just doing this? But that tells me the type of person that you are.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? That tells me the type of person that you are. And I'm not gonna rock with you. Like you're not gonna listen to reason. You're not going to listen to read, but that's the average human. They just literally don't give a fuck about the next person, the person
Yeah.
meeting them. So you can't have that level of community because it's going to take a bit of sacrifice of them and their comfort in order to make sure the greater good is okay.
Yeah.
And the average person don't want to just be a little bit uncomfortable. So that's why you're never going to see unity amongst black people. And now I love my people, love them
Hmm.
to death. I believe it's possible, but everybody has to be willing to sacrifice.
Hmm.
Everybody has to be willing to realize that the work you're doing right now, there's chances are that you won't see the fruits of that.
Yeah.
And when you tell somebody that, they're way less willing to do anything sacrificial
Yeah.
because they gotta be on the front line taking the L so these children 3-4 generations from us can have a better life. They
Hmm.
don't give a shit about that. Right now I'm suffering. You feel what I'm saying? What we gonna do about
Hmm.
right now? And and that sucks. That absolutely sucks. Whereas back then, like our parents and how they came up and all of that, they had to have that community because they came from that. All they had was black people.
Yeah.
All they had was each other. All of us going through it. So right now, how can we band together to make this better for us? Because all of us catching the same hell right now from the
Yep.
same racist motherfuckers. I don't know how that ended up
Yo,
to to what we have right now, but it would absolutely take that level of sacrifice and realizing you can't see you probably won't see the benefit from this work in order for that to be. And
yeah.
I just don't believe that the majority would be willing to do that without seeing some form of benefit to them at this
And
moment.
it's just sad. It's just really sad. And I think about different experiences I've had, like when we talk about like the racism and the things that happen. I would
Mhm.
say a lot of those experiences have been out here.
Hmm. I can see that.
And as recent as a week and a half ago,
Mm.
I got called a nigga by a homeless white person. I didn't even know what was happening. I was walking out of Target
Mhm.
because the dog was having puppies. So I'm like trying to rush because I'm trying to take some like a bed and like towels there.
Right.
So I hear it, but I'm rushing and I
Mhm.
hear the person call the black lady that worked there a nigger. And I was like, nah, she didn't say that. Keep walking.
Right.
So I'm walking and I'm hearing somebody saying, yeah, nigger something. And I'm like, okay, I'm still minding my business. This
Right.
person behind me, and here's security. And I'm like, well, she still must be mad because whatever she was trying to steal or take, like the black woman caught her or
Right.
whatever. So that's all I'm thinking. You just acting out.
Right.
I'm outside, man. And I heard her say, yeah, keep walking, nigger. I said, stop. I said, wait, are you talking to me? Uh, uh, and then she just walked off real fast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like looking at her, and I'm like, wait a second. So I leave, and I'm only going 10 minutes away. You know, my black ass spent the block on Target.
Right.
And I was like, so I talked to the black lady. I said, so I was just in here where that white girl called you. I think she was a transient. This is what we call them out here.
Right.
I said, she called you a nigger. She's like, yeah, that happens like multiple times throughout the month. She comes in. I said, she keep coming in here. I said, well, so homeboy in security didn't do his job
Right.
because she followed me out and she called me. She's like, what? I said, go get the store manager.
Right. Facts like that.
And I said, because if this has been something you have been encountering
Mhm.
for a while, that's a
Mhm.
problem for me.
Listen.
I ain't heard nothing back. I'm calling corporate.
And but that's the thing, and they're expecting you to not report. They're expecting you to not do anything. That's and I really want our people to understand this point. You are still a nigga to them.
Yeah,
I that
it's
lady
really that
was
easy.
that lady was stealing, and you were buying something and leaving out the store, and you was a nigga. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you was the nigga. Like look, Obama was the leader of the free world, okay,
Still a nigga.
and was still a nigga, and people were simulating hanging him every single day for 8 years,
Yep.
and this man was the ruler of shit.
You know, it's really interesting because when I kind of tell like black men what happened, they're like, you ain't do nothing. And then like my homegirls be like, what the fuck was you supposed to do? I was like, bitch, I didn't even know the bitch was talking to me until I got outside. But it's like, okay, we can't always be reactive. And you have to look at what can happen. Okay, for every action is a reaction. We know that, right? That's science.
All that.
And so all I could see, black girl, a black angry black woman attacked homeless woman,
Mm-hmm.
and then they gonna say she had mental health issues.
Yup. Yup.
Like what was that going to get me? So I was like, no, I'm calling corporate. And if nothing, if I don't get a call back, then we go on to Twitter. I was like, I'll
Right.
keep it cute. And if I don't hear nothing back, this is
It's
what's
like
gonna
this.
happen.
This the thing, right? We're always expected to be the bigger person in those situations. Every time somebody decides to let us know how they truly feel about us and our skin tone, we're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to just take it on the chin. We're supposed to be dignified about it and turn the other cheek and just keep it moving. Yet there is a large group of people that do not have this experience throughout their life in any form or fashion, and those are
None.
the main ones that are making the rules in these situations. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll sit there and they'll tell you, like, like on one end, it's like, oh man, why you didn't do nothing? Like, dude, and go to jail? Because I'm gonna sit here and tell them, like, yeah, she called me a nigga, so I punched her in her mouth. That's an assault and battery charge,
Yeah.
regardless of whatever it is that old girl said. That's an assault and battery charge. I'm taking the L on that. And I did it to a homeless person. Oh nigga, I look terrible right now. However, they don't understand that this person was verbally berating me and what I'm saying, calling
I
me a
will be
derogatory
out the
term
store, like you said. I'm like,
out
what?
the store as you're just walking to your car. And we've we're so deep in it, yo, that we've allowed this to happen. Where it's a catch 22, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So
Right.
you have to be a victim. You have to be docile. You have to shut the fuck up, or your freedom is going to be taken away from you.
Yeah.
Then she
And,
calls you
and
a nigga, but I'm going to arrest you if you do something about it, nigger. So sit your ass down. And that's where you know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think about, and honestly, like it gets bigger because you think of proximity now.
yeah,
How could that affect my friends that are in certain places? And I have to tell people that I was like, it's certain stuff, and you have to think about, because that could mess up the bag for everybody.
and
Is it fucked up? But that's just the culture we live in, because cancel culture only affects Black people.
but see, even with that though, right? It goes back to what it is that I was just saying. It's like it's the sacrifice. You
Hmm.
sacrifice that not only for yourself and your freedom, but for future situations for people that you're associated with. That folks might know. Oh yeah, nah. You held down, nah, because you
Hmm.
can see me on this, and I'm pretty sure you probably about to be on that type of time.
Yep.
And it's the butterfly effect of it,
Yep.
and you wasn't wrong,
Yep.
but we've allowed people to have this type of power over us when we control all of this shit. That's my problem. My thing is that there is a solution to all of this, but everybody that looks like us has to be willing to sacrifice. We can't allow people to talk to us like this. We can't allow people to treat us like this on these particular jobs. And we have to stand firm in that. However, that means possibly the dream that you have in life, it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Possibly, you know what I'm saying, the amount of money that you wanted, you can't get at that particular time. However, it makes it better for us down the line. Who's really willing to do that? you're you're gonna take that L. The
Yep.
average person is gonna take that L and just keep it pushing forward because they're still living in this shit right now.
Now,
And
next time I see that bitch,
but that I'm just saying, like it's got
hey, she getting maced. She
trip
getting.
trip
I'm
it
not.
real
I
good,
might
real
not
quick.
tase her because I have a taser, but I'm a mace her, and I'm gonna be like,
Look
now,
at that, yeah, that gel, that pepper spray gel, that go that right in that left eyeball.
because
Drop
I'm like, hey, listen, and that was, and honestly, it's funny how, and when we explain the power of words, because words do mean things. Shout
right,
out to Crystal.
right.
And but when you give it power, because it was more so comical to me,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, huh, I'm walking out the store,
Right.
and you following me out, and you're mad because
I
you don't
want
have money and I have money.
it. Right.
How white is that? Like, and
You,
that's really all I could
yeah.
think of. So I was, as I as she walked away, all I could do was laugh, and I laughed at it because it was like, bitch. And honestly, like I was more so upset with Target security as opposed to this homeless person. I don't give a like. It's not that I don't give a fuck that she called me a nigger, but
Right.
it's like, sir, you're standing by the door. Do your job.
Listen, that shit is a fucking costume for bro. He don't get paid enough to make sure people safe. He's getting paid to look like it's safe in that motherfucker. That's it. I'm telling you that right now. They
You
probably
know,
mad that dude to death, and he's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about shit going on here.
once I did talk to the head of security,
Mm-hmm.
and it was it's somebody else that I had contacted, and I still hadn't heard back.
Mm-hmm.
But her even breaking down like, yo, we just like got rid of other people out the store the other day that was,
On the
berating
same
another
thing.
customer and blah 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 blah. So for him to be right by the door and seeing this happen, like that's a problem for me.
Oh, absolutely.
So I was
Absolutely.
just, for her to even feel like that, and I was just like, and I don't like the fact that, y'all, the worker told me that this has been happening to her from this same bitch, like on multiple occasions. So I'm like, I get it, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
when does it come into play that y'all gonna look out for even y'all employees? And I'm just like, I'm a patron.
Listen, they don't give a fuck.
Listen,
like,
that's why
like,
that's why when shit be happening at the stores, it's like, can you no? Are
I'll be
you
like,
nah?
what for what? I'm about to sit here and risk my life and my health for like when something's really wrong with me and y'all at this corporation show me that you don't really give a shit about that. That it's been received. I heard you.
Oh
You know what I'm
baby.
saying?
Listen, it was some shit that happened like the so my boss and I had a conversation, and he had referred to me as hypersensitive, and then went on to say sensitive. I said, ah.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so that's not the verbiage that we're going to use. I said, especially when someone is being passive aggressive to me and having microaggressions as well. And this has been an ongoing issue. And I
That
said, I could see if it was just me. But my black, as I said, multiple people from multiple departments have stepped into my office,
right.
and we've had conversations about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not me. This is a her problem,
Right.
not a me problem where I'm hypersensitive.
Right.
He's like, I get that you care. I said, I don't want to sound passive, like I really don't care, but I don't care how you think I think you how you think I think like how you think I think I care, because I
right.
really don't, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but that's the reality of the situation. And the
Right.
main thing I care about, I said, the reason why I even stopped to investigate certain stuff is because system issues, and
Right.
that trickles back to my department.
Right.
So as far as anything else, no,
Right.
you can't sit here and refer to me as such when I have a paper trail that proves otherwise.
Right.
That's cool if you operate like that and
Right.
you're like, oh, I take her tone out of stuff. That's cool for you. But
Right.
from where I'm from, we don't do that.
No.
So if you don't, I said, so don't say to use you as the scapegoat and throw you under the bridge if you're not going to confront the situation.
Facts. And the thing is, like, of course, like I said, they're gonna protect their own. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? They're gonna protect their own, or just even just their own personal, gain to keep
Yep.
everything
Mhm.
looking smooth. Because
Mhm.
if that person goes in with their report, it looks like they're not managing their situation properly. Uh, it looks bad on them, and that's just lame as hell to me. Like, it's this working regular job shit. It's a much easier way to do a whole bunch of things, and it goes back to the relationships conversation we were talking about. It's like, how can I get the most out of this person while giving the least? Like, I'm gonna let you go through absolute hell because I'm paying you a check, and you better do more than what your job entails.
Yep.
Because if not, you quiet quitting. What? No, I'm doing my job. Now, if I was doing under my job, let's
We
have
get
that conversation. But if I'm doing my actual job and you ask me to do something and I said no, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up. Like,
Oh,
it's
I listen. When it was one day, one of the IT guys says, "Oh, I'm gonna need your help with." I said,
no, you don't.
I said, that's not my area of expertise, especially when I know the consultant's getting paid like 150 an hour.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. Like, nah, bruh. Like,
Goes to the people that get paid for this. I'm cool. And folks can have an attitude. It's like, listen. It's all good. I'm not tripping. I'm the same way at work. It's like, let's do don't even look in my direction for the extras. The answer is no. Is my job getting done? That's
Yep.
it. Am I doing the job you're paying me to do?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Because if you're not paying me for the extras, hey, over there with it. Like, don't even look in my direction. Not a
Exactly.
team player. I don't care what nobody.
And
Not
that's really what it is. It's just like, oh, and can you talk more in the meetings? I said, y'all asked me if I had any problems, so I don't have no problems. Me and my team, we good over here. Like,
right.
and the person I need to address, he not even on the call.
Listen, when I tell you they stop, my thing is I'm one of those. I'm a overdo it to the point that you never ask me to do this shit again. And they will say, "Yeah, we want you. You're being so upfront. You're like the leader. We need you to talk in these meetings, this, that, and the third." And I really just got on some radical shit. And was like, "Listen, y'all not paying us enough. Like, y'all not paying us enough for whatever all of this shit that's going on right now. You all like the pay that you all are giving all of us is no, it's not." At that point, yeah, can you not just talk up so much? Listen, you either want me to speak or you don't. But if you want me to speak, I'm gonna be completely honest here. You not gonna like the answer. I'm not kissing
Right.
ass for none of y'all. Like y'all gonna look at me like the radical, but it's like I'm not even radical. It's just common sense. Y'all know this. Y'all know y'all getting over on us.
Yep.
You don't want me to. You don't want me to tell you that I know that y'all getting over on us.
Right. Exactly.
What?
It's funny because like when all of this stuff like happened, they built another like they I work for a clothing brand. So they branched out one of the little subcategories. They made it its own like entity.
Mhm.
And so we pretty much was doing double work. So I
Right.
was like, are we gonna be compensated? Well, eventually like we're gonna break it off and it'll be somebody else. I said,
No.
I.
That ain't what I asked you. I asked
So yes or
you.
no?
Right.
So I can know how to proceed going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so now am I going to need additional hands? Are we going to have to hire people? Stuff like that.
Right.
So the other week in that same meeting, probably before we got to the craziness, he was like, oh, they shutting it down. It hadn't even been a year. It hadn't been 8 months. So I was like, huh, that's funny. And donating all the clothes, 800 was 80,000 units or 800,000 units. They bought millions and millions, like $25 million worth of inventory, and donating it to a third world country when there's people homeless right there down the street on Skid Row. Like, you
On
know what that's
fucking Skid Row.
on
Yeah,
Skid
I
Row,
could be in downtown LA and just started throwing the shit out the window.
baby. When they told me that somebody had took 2 trash bags full of that shit out, one of the warehouse workers, I said, "What the fuck y'all want me to do?
Right.
Who am I?" I said, "Why am I gonna go snitch?" I said, "I can't stand a bitch, but for what?" I said, "So that's none of my business."
That's why I said corporate stealing ain't got no issues with
I
it.
said,
They
none of my
stealing
business. I said,
anyway.
because they knew there was a dude, he had shipped, and that's a felony. He shipped over $200,000 worth of merchandise to different people's houses, like throughout, and they figured it out. Well, my homeboy figured it out. They just fired him. They ain't press charges. So I was like, oh, this shit.
Right.
They
That's
was like, oh, we're gonna buy. They was like, oh, can we come look on these racks? We're gonna take that. I said, that ain't my business.
right. Do y'all want to? I don't even hear you right now. I'm just
I don't
gonna
hear
tell
you say nothing to me. Do you, boo? Do you?
like, why are you coming to me right now about this?
Listen, I have suffered enough at the expense of this place, so it's cool. Like, I make cool money. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, could it always be more? Of course, but I'm cool. Like, I'm not. I don't feel like, oh, if I don't do this, or if I miss this 1 hour, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna shift everything. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, especially I'm like, shit, I'm finna go on to overtime this week. Let me just
Right.
sit here and just. So it's fine, but it's just like that's where the point I'm at. So my focus has completely shifted. I clock in, do what I need to do some other work while I'm there, and keep it moving.
That's it. Like it's It's one or two ways that it goes. It's like if you have the opportunity to be able to just focus on like the goal that you want and nothing else, fantastic. But if it's a situation where you gotta keep bills paid and all of this shit, like kind of how we're in, realize that that job is a means to an end
Yep.
and nothing more. Do
Yep.
not look at it as, oh man, they supposed to, I'm supposed to get this raise, and you can't even give a shit about that because the thing is that they're going to dangle that carrot if they can. They're going to dangle the fuck out of that carrot, and
Yep.
if you're putting your faith in those people who literally are there to take advantage of you, you've failed. You've
Yep.
already failed. Just realize there are means to an end. They pay your bills, and then after that, you're able to kind of like execute and do the shit that you actually want to do. Allow it to fund that. That's what we should have been taught. But people, they teach you all the time. You just work up this ladder and you just work hard and you're gonna get
Mhm.
it. No,
No,
you
there's not. And then you're 65, and then it's like you die.
yep,
And
working hard
working hard for somebody, like you might get a pension, you might not. Social security, that ain't shit.
ain't shit. Ain't even a real thing. What the hell is retirement?
Yeah, and it's like, so I do love the space that our generation has figured that out, and we are like, okay, there are different avenues to get multiple streams of income. You can turn
Hmm.
things that you love to do into income. So whether it be
Hmm.
traveling, podcasting, music, whatever the case may be, you can make that make money for you. So,
Hmm.
Van,
Yeah.
tell everybody where they can find you on the social media webs.
Social media. So
And
majority
if
of
you
them
have
things.
any gigs that you want to promote, plug it here.
Yeah, absolutely. So of course, like right now, just big on the DJing, streaming, gaming as well. So that would be twitch.tv/good brotherlism. That's LYZM. And that's pretty much honestly over all social media, just good brotherlism, as well as the ones you see there. I'm his vandalism on that one as well. But yeah, got that. Got a few gigs coming up here in Atlanta. Big one actually this Friday is going to be coming up. I'm not sure when this or if people looking at this live or whatnot. But yeah,
That'll be
Friday.
next week.
Yeah. Oh, this week. So you don't even worry about what I just said. It ain't even happening. It ain't even a thing. That's not real. but yeah, we got beginning of October. I'll be doing something good with my boy Sean Fallion. So that's gonna be a nice one there. A couple more coming up, but the big one, like I said, just catch me on Twitch. I'm definitely still bookable all over the United States, whatnot. You want me to come rock your spot? It's there. A few other things I can't necessarily get into, but
Y'all kill me with that. Like,
because the thing is this, right? Because this is a completely new venture for me that
okay,
I've always wanted to do, that I've been excited about doing for a long time. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going all in with this shit, along with everything that I'm doing. And I'm just really excited. And I just don't like as much as I want to just this is the thing. I just can't. Let me get it to a place where I'm comfortable and we good. Just trust me. Just trust me. It's gonna be good.
okay,
I'll let you in on what it is after this. But yeah, there we go.
okay. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the podcast, guys.
Yes.
And you know, please like and subscribe and share. It's really that simple. Hit
Easy.
like, just super quick, like 1 second, like.
And that's it. And that's the thing. And I'm talking about in just in general, because I play for a lot of premium things like premium YouTube, all this shit with these creators, yo. Shit, especially black creators. Like people that just consume our shit. It does not take but a second to do that. And you don't realize how much that helps other creators or the creators
Yeah.
that you love so much when
Yep.
you're watching their shit all day. You
Yeah.
watch this shit all the time. I tell you, I watch YouTube more than I do any other streaming service
Yeah.
that I pay for monthly.
Yeah.
You have to do that. That's how it is that they make their money. That's how it is that they're able to give you continuously like the entertainment that you provide that you love. It don't take but a second, y'all. Just go and
It
hit that
don't.
like, hit that subscribe. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you. You get it. You get it. And so it's like, you know, we were talking about the Kev on Stage app last week, which,
Mm-hmm.
technically last night. And And the concept of him just being able to create a platform for Black
Mhm.
creators, and his like, it's for Black people anyway. That's his tagline.
Right.
So being able, subscriptions, those subscriptions alone have been able to keep the studio and the content flowing in
Right.
consistently. And so shout out to Kev for that app. Shout out to BT for Give Me Five featuring me in two of those episodes. And don't forget to also download the Caffeine app, and hit subscribe to All Death. CT has
Yep.
episodes that drop every Tuesday. I have been featured on three or four episodes of Villainy. So yeah,
I've been peeping, and I want, and not to cut you off, but I want to say, I want to make sure that the people see this and hear me say this. I'm so proud of you, y'all. Like,
don't
I
make me
mean
cry,
that.
man.
And that, no, no, that's just real. Like I said again, it's beautiful when I see my people out there actually pushing forward, actually creating things, actually being seen for the things that they enjoy doing and the things that they truly love, and they're making traction. That is so motivational. To not only myself, to other people that just like, yo, like this is my nigga up there doing it. I can do this shit too. And and if that's what you felt when you like go and do it, but it's important when we see, what I'm saying, our people getting down. And I wanted to make sure that on your platform, while I'm talking to you, looking at you directly, I just want to let you know that I'm so proud of everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep pushing with that shit. Like I
My
you
heart is full.
and I mean that because I know how shit get out. I know how shit get out there. I know how it
Yeah.
gets out there. There's a lot of running around. Some of this shit be dead. And the fact that you have a circle there and it's people we know and a bunch of people that like, and it just blossoms to this thing. You're surrounding yourself amongst these great creators, which makes you one yourself. With the consistency, it can only be great for you.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing.
Thank you so much. And I don't even know what to say. Like, thank you. Like, just thank you. That means a lot. And
Listen, that's for you.
yes. And because you, like I said, like you have good days, you have bad days. You're like, is this for me? Like, or what would be next? And then you think about it, like, nah, let me just
Right.
go back to this. Like,
Exactly. It's like, what the other option is, working this bullshit ass job till you die. Is
right.
that
I'm
what you
like,
want?
and that ain't it. That ain't it. I'm like, but yeah, no, that means a lot to me. And I will definitely, like I'll be in touch. And yeah, man, I thank you. That means so much. So with that said, y'all, thank you for tuning in to Whiskey Sour.
Thank you.
And be sure to follow our guest Van.
Yes, please
And
do.
follow like his Twitter low key, y'all. That's the only place y'all really need to be. I'll be honest. Because the way the tweets be going up and the stuff that I be catching, like last night, see, y'all know I don't lie to y'all. That's true. Please, at least do yourself a service and please follow his Twitter.
And that was just vandalism. So you see, yeah, just vandalism. Just there. Yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time. Listen, you
It's a
don't
good
get the
time. It's a good
information, you don't
time.
get the knowledge. It's reality,
So yeah, so y'all take care and thank you so much for tuning in. And we will see y'all here next week with someone else. I don't know who.